I'm here with the Association of African Universities Television, AUTV. I just want to say that without the media, you won't know what's going on in the world. Even with the media, you sometimes don't know what's going on in the world. So you need to tune in to the reliable sources who are really on the front lines, who can give you the information you need and give you facts, not conjecture, give you real news, not fake news. And this is the place to find it, AUTV.
The voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Good day, Africa. You're welcome to the Hello Africa Morning Show. My name is Chimaima Daladem Toche, and now to our top African stories. The United Nations General Assembly has elected 5 new non-permanent members to the UN Security Council, with Zimbabwe, Austria, Kyrgyzstan, Portugal, and Trinidad and Tobago voted on Wednesday to serve 2-year terms beginning January 1st, 2027. Zimbabwe was elected unopposed to represent the African group, replacing Somalia, while the vote marks a historic first for Kyrgyzstan, which will serve on the council for the first time since joining the United Nations in 1992. Germany, which had lobbied hard for seats, missed out, finishing third in the contest for the 2 places available in the Western European and other groups.
The UN Security Council is the only body within the United Nations with the power to make legally binding decisions, including imposing sanctions and authorizing the use of force. Its 5 permanent members, Britain, China, France, Russia, and the United States, hold veto power over all decisions. Wednesday's election fills the seats being vacated at the end of 2026, with Denmark, Greece, Pakistan, and Panama all departing when their current terms conclude. Bahrain, Colombia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Latvia, and Liberia will remain on the Council until the end of 2027, providing continuity in its work. Zimbabwe's election to the Council is seen as a significant movement for the African group as the country steps into one of the most influential diplomatic seats in the world. Kyrgyzstan's inclusion is equally historic, marking the Central Asian nation's first ever seat on the Security Council since it became a UN member over 3 decades ago. Germany's failure to secure a seat despite an aggressive lobbying campaign is being seen as a notable diplomatic setback for one of Europe's most powerful nations. The 5 newly elected members will take their seats on January 1st, 2027.
Moving on, FIFA has banned fans from bringing reusable water bottles into stadiums at the 2026 World Cup, a decision that has sparked concerns among supporters, health experts, and critics ahead of a tournament set to be played in high summer heat across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The rule change was reported on Wednesday by The Athletic, which revealed that updated stadium guidelines had explicitly reversed an earlier provision that permitted empty, transparent, reusable bottles of up to 1 liter. FIFA says the ban is based on safety considerations, but critics warn it could leave fans with limited and more expensive hydration options during the matches.
FIFA's original Stadium Code of Conduct had included a clause explicitly permitting empty, transparent, reusable plastic bottles of up to 1 liter capacity inside stadiums. The provision has now been replaced by an updated clause stating that reusable water bottles may not be brought into the stadium under any circumstances. The timing has raised serious questions. Climate researchers have warned that parts of North America are increasingly exposed to extreme summer heat, while sports scientists say conditions measured using the Wet Bob Globe Temperature Index can significantly raise the risks of heat-related illness in outdoor stadiums. FIFA defended the decision, saying the rule was designed to prevent potential safety risks and noting that some host stadiums already prohibited outside bottles. The governing body added that hydration stations, cooling areas, and misting systems would be available inside venues. But critics remain unconvinced, arguing the ban could force fans to rely on stadium vendors, potentially at significantly higher prices. Similar restrictions at previous tournaments held in hot conditions have already sparked fierce debate over fan comfort and stadium pricing, and with the 2026 World Cup expanding to 48 teams across 3 countries. The pressure on organizers to deliver on fan welfare promises have never been greater.
The German Development Corporation, in partnership with Zoomlion Ghana and Blue Skies Products, has launched the InnoWaste project in Accra, a 3-year initiative aimed at tackling Ghana's plastic pollution crisis while creating 600 green jobs for women and the youth. Launched last Thursday, the project runs from October 2025 to September 2028, targeting a country that generates approximately 1 million metric tons of plastic waste annually, but recycles less than 10% of it. Without urgent intervention, authorities warn that the plastic leakage into Ghana's water bodies could grow by 190% by 2040.
Deputy Minister of Local Government, Rithana Odole-Sowa, described the InnoWaste project as both timely and strategic, saying its focus on plastic waste management and the livelihoods of women and youth made it a well-targeted intervention. She also disclosed that the government would soon authorize the transfer of carbon credits from our 4 recycling plants to the Swiss government under the Paris Agreement framework. The Chief Director of the Ministry of Environment, Suwebatu Adam, warned that Ghana currently spends $290 million annually, equivalent to 1.6% of GDP, dealing with the consequences of poor waste disposal. Research by the Ghana Climate Innovation Center estimates the country could generate more than 88 million cedis annually, simply by recycling its plastic waste. Of the 600 jobs to be created, 30% are targeted at women and 60% at youth. The project will also improve working conditions for over 3,600 people and increase incomes across the plastic waste value chain. 500 youth will receive tricycles, hand-drawn carts and collection equipment, while plastic vending machines will be installed at designated points, allowing individuals to deposit bottles and receive rewards. GIZ's Wilhelm Hugo described the initiative as a triple win, delivering environmental, economic, and social benefits by empowering women and youth who form the backbone of Ghana's waste value chain.
Also, 60 Ghanaian women have graduated from the Female Future Program Ghana, bringing the total number of graduates to 435 since the program launched in 2019. The graduates completed intensive leadership and boardroom training at the Ghana Employers Association's annual conference in Accra. Gender Minister Dr. Agnes Omolati used the occasion to urge women to take up leadership positions boldly and called on private sector organizations to dismantle barriers that hold women back.
The Female Future Program Ghana is an initiative of the Ghana Employers Association, rolled out with support from the Confederation of Norwegian Enterprise. Of the 375 graduates who proceeded this cohort, 43 have already been appointed to boards and committees, while the majority have moved into higher management or leadership roles. All graduates will now join the FFPGH Alumni Network, which promotes mentorship, networking, and continuous professional development. At the ceremony, Minister Latte stressed that this administration views women's participation in leadership and decision-making as essential to national development and called on women leaders to lead with courage, competence, integrity, and compassion. She further emphasized that leadership inclusion must go beyond numbers and that women need skills, confidence, mentorship, and institutional support to genuinely influence decisions and shape national transformation. Ghana Employers Association President Dr. Emmanuel Edu Sarkodie Afiye described the annual conference as an increasingly important platform for advancing responsible leadership and women's development, commending employers and corporate partners for investing in female talents across the country.
Hundreds of African migrants are hiding in town halls and mountain bushes across South Africa's Western Cape province, forced to flee their homes by anti-immigrant mobs going door to door. The violence has turned deadly, with Mozambique confirming that 5 of its nationals were killed in the coastal town of Mozambique over the weekend. In Claymont, about 300 kilometers away, a Mozambican migrant spent 2 nights sheltering in the mountains after a crowd arrived at his door, ordering foreigners to leave and taking all his belongings.
49-year-old Lado Amido had been in South Africa since February, looking for work. He is now among roughly 100 migrants sheltering in Claymont's town hall, alongside others from Malawi and Mozambique, many of whom are hoping to join voluntary repatriation programs set up by their government. A 31-year-old from Malawi named Michael Maxim describes a similarly terrifying ordeal. His landlord warned him to evacuate immediately, saying those who stayed behind would be killed. He spent a night hiding in the woods, close enough to watch a large crowd of protesters moving through town, some carrying knives and sticks. He now has no money to travel home, but says it is better than living somewhere where his life is under threat. Ward Councillor Grant Cohen says many of those sheltering in the town hall are in South Africa legally, including children who until recently were attending local schools but are now too afraid to leave. He was firm that residents must not take the law into their own hands. Xenophobic attacks are a recurring crisis in South Africa, where migrants are routinely blamed for high unemployment and crime. Despite no evidence supporting those claims, analysts warn that politicians across party lines have repeatedly reinforced those narratives to score populist votes, particularly ahead of elections, with local polls due at the end of the year. Addressing Parliament this week, President Cyril Ramaphosa condemned the violence but also said the country needed to address the challenge of migration in parts of building a safer and more prosperous society.
Up next, this news review. Stay tuned.
That what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Hello Africa, keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. Good morning and welcome again to the Hello Africa Morning Show, coming to you live from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities here in Accra, Ghana. My name is Philemon Edwards, and I'm here today with my colleague, Dr. Ajima Nochidakon. And then joining us for this opening is Ms. Deladem Doche.
We had to hold her back a little bit.
Yes.
And to seek her views. She has more to tell us on this issue.
Yes. Anyway, coming up in today's edition is a lot of educative, insightful conversation in the stories. But most importantly, we just want to do this. Okay, I don't know what your situation is, given where you live in Accra, Ghana. From last week, Wednesday, coincidentally, 3rd June, again, those of you who live in Ghana, you will know what 3rd June 2015 was about. There was a flood back then at one of Ghana's central business districts, where we call the Kwame Nkrumah Avenue or Circle. Okay, there was a flood, and then there was a fire outbreak because water seeped into a fuel station and entered their reservoirs and tanks and whatever, and then it brought up all of the fuel, and then suddenly there was fire. 11 years on 3rd June, again, last week Wednesday, I had 2 of my friends called me. I was still in the office around 9 p.m. when they said to me that water has entered their houses. And this is around New Legon, around Adenta. Several of these things have happened over the weekend. Unfortunately, it went from Friday through to Saturday and Sunday. Guys, I don't know what else to say. Let's begin with you, Doc.
Well, it is what it is. I'm lucky. I was just watching and was stunned, and I was more intrigued by what I was seeing. Some homes have to start buying canoes.
I'm telling you.
Buy canoes. I see some people using their mattress as their conduit to transfer their TVs to other neighbors' homes because everything is off. I mean, the water came into the house. There's water everywhere. They spend time fetching water to buckets, mopping the place up. Areas like you mentioned Chado. I mean, not Legon Hills. It's Legon Hills. So it's Legon Hills.
Not a bit of not Legon.
Lakeside.
Agboba, Ashoman.
Lakes. I mean, it's everywhere.
And it's funny. Lakeside, particularly, is one of the craziest things I cannot even understand.
It's Lakeside. No?
It's a Lakeside.
It's a lake there, so definitely you get it.
It's a Lakeside.
But arguably, it's one of the places that is well planned in terms of arrangements of buildings. So I can't even begin to understand how that should happen in that place. I've been there a few times, and they seem to have a structured road network. So I can't pinpoint what the problem is at the moment.
The lake.
Well, I actually have a few things to say. I think in your opening, you made mention of the fact that 11 years back, we had the same issue and we lost people. And 11 years moving forward, we still have the same issue. So now what is the problem? That is the question. I think a few days back, the president of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was in the UK to have a town hall meeting with the diaspora. And this issue of flood came up. And I mean, I actually listened to the conversation that was going on, and the president actually made it very specific that the issue of flooding is not engineering problem. It is us. We heap rubbish in our homes. We heap rubbish, a whole, like there were videos during this flood and water issue. There's been videos on the internet with people heaping rubbish in sacks, and then when the rain when it's raining, people pour this rubbish in the running water. What do we expect? And mind you, Accra is built in the center where there's Ivry, there are these mountainous areas around us. So when it rains, I mean, they all come down. And here, where we need to settle and make our roads network and gutters very available, we find people building in waterlogged areas where these water is actually supposed to pass. And the president made a statement that honestly, Ghanaians sometimes we are indisciplined because we find we've been complaining all the time about these issues, but then we still find people today like having rubbish and then spilling it along the roads. And secondly, I mean, the president also mentioned the fact that, our chiefs sometimes, sell lands at inappropriate places to people to build. So right now, the problem is still us.
Not to cut you short, but just still on the same issue you're talking about, building in waterways. The video on your screen right now is around the Ramsar side area. This is a heavily waterlogged place, and people have been asked not to build there. People are angry that their buildings are being demolished. They are cursing authorities and doing all. Just take a good aerial view of look at this. Look at this whole place. You see, because we are building in the waterways, we are not allowing the water to find its own course. It will flow in the places where it's not.
Nice
Look at houses, look at cars submerged in water. How are you supposed to, come back out of this? Look at the amount of investments. Wait. Yeah, so the amount of money we invest in buildings of this nature, I can't see properly what cars are there, but these are very good cars from whatever you can see. Look at let's try to quantify this.
There's no way in, no way out.
There's actually even no gutter.
Where's the road?
That's one of the major problems. That's one of the major problems. East Legon Hills, Santor area. Apparently, there's not a single gutter in that area.
Interesting.
I have been there a few times, but I haven't noticed. But I understand why that place will flood, because all of the nice buildings that are springing up, not even one of them has a gutter in front of it.
So if you are building, excuse me to say, you can't.
So the question is, where is even your wastewater going to?
Exactly. There was, just to chip in, there was a building breakdown at Adenta. And then the DCE actually says that they have asked the people not to build. But you watch the people put up the buildings. So that's
buildings
magnitude.
Don't go up
and then
in
now
a day.
we lose somebody. And then you say that, okay, so the landlord or whoever is now going to jail. Ghana, it is time we start to react and not wait for occurrences to happen before we feel like somebody needs to go to prison, somebody needs to take decision for, all these things. It is time we implement laws. You are the president. Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has majority in the Parliament House. If today Mahama should get up and tell us that we are setting up rules, if we see you do this, this is the law and it has to apply to you. Apparently there are laws. Yesterday I was watching a show, I have forgotten the station, and apparently there are laws to govern some of these things. So my problem is, fine, we have a precedent, okay? And it is high time Ghanaians we fear of emotions when we are ruling. Ghanaians rule with so much emotions. I think during the weekend there was a house, a very nice house actually, that was broken down because the house was built at a waterlog where water is actually supposed to move. And somebody was like, this is what I won't say anything. The owner was like, I won't say anything, but then when I go on my knees, you see, sometimes we need to, we even want to involve sometimes God. We need to take responsibilities. The first question is, who actually sold the land to the woman? And then now you build such a big house, and then we have to just take it down. And then now there are emotions all over, and everybody saying the government is being hard. But when there is flood, who do you still calling these governments to come and save us?
Because you see, the person who built the house is not the only one that suffers. Look at the video we just watched. Look at the amount of buildings that are there. Let's just say this is just the photo. Let's see about 5 houses. The rest of the houses we are counting, over 200 of them we are seeing in the video, are going to suffer all of these things.
It's so bad.
So why would we sit down in the first place to even allow the buildings to go up? I agree with you that
I think sometimes we need ruthless leaders to actually take up.
Sit down and they see these buildings go up just like that.
Not the word ruthless per se.
Like we need people who,
when we say, I think that the challenge with Ghana's drainage system is two ways. You see, right from Ghana's independence to now, when the country was being planned, the population at that time was quite little. So drainage were not made to be huge.
That's true.
Today, Ghana is denser. We have so many people in Ghana who are building many places. And therefore, there should be a strategic outlook on how we can expand our drainages. You understand? We haven't done that. We haven't done that. So if you haven't done what you have to do, you cannot blame it all on sanitation. That even though gutters are being choked here and there, however, there is another need for us to find ways and means to create more channels for water to pass when it rains. So the call is double.
Okay.
One is that we as Ghanaians will find a way to be disciplined with the way we handle plastics. I mean, from where January 2027, we hear of a plastics ban. Let's see if that will end this menace. I tell you, it will not end it. That means that there is another effort that is required to expand and create more alternative drainage pathways so that people in other places can also have water flowing. Yesterday, I sat in a meeting, it was a community meeting of how water was flowing. And it was the same issue. How do we create gutters? Now the community is coming together to create gutters for themselves. NADMO came in, they marked the builders, they want to demolish them because they have built in waterways.
Yes, people will not allow it.
We have to go and call them to come and do it.
Yeah.
Because that's a job. They can't come and do their own job unless they are called. But what we need is gutters. And we are spending almost 40,000 to this as a community to cross our own gutters. So the thing is, we don't have alternative pathways. The old pathways are old. And they served that people at a time. Today, we have to be planning ahead of time to create extra pathways so water can flow. Simple as that.
For me, I still stand by the fact that, Ghana, we actually have to be disciplined as individuals because it lies solely on individuals. And the governments can actually do everything that they want to do. But if we, the individuals, are not ready
this
to...
is not going to end.
I
totally agree.
Sure.
And on that note of indiscipline, please let us know how you are faring in your area. Send us a message. Let's see if you have videos, just share them with us. Let's look at the nature of the situation and then we'll keep the conversation going. We'll be back after this break. Don't go away. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AUTV.
You're welcome back on Hello Africa, where we connect you to your African continent. And you know, a while ago, I was here with my colleagues, we were just talking about how overwhelming the floods have been in Ghana, and it's very distressful, you know, very disheartening. However, whilst we did the same overwhelming flood experience, yesterday we marked the World Food Safety Day on June 7th on the global scale, and it was important that we appreciate the theme, which was from Better Solutions, food, safe food everywhere, where the need on research, innovation, and other innovative architecture would be used to transfer knowledge into some action. I think the world is moving towards a place where action is needed and not just talk or research. Studies will mean nothing if information will mean nothing if it is not transferred into something more realistic or pragmatic. So you can bear with the theme that at this moment we call on researchers to help us, information brokers, innovation brokers, to help us transfer and retell these studies or these findings into something that we can all appreciate realistically. And today we'll be able to help us appreciate the entire event and also in its own capacity, how we can also, as Africans, turn our research and findings into something more effective in turning our economies around, is Professor Adewale Obadina, who is also a food scientist, a food expert, and a microbiologist with the Federal University of Nigeria, Abeokuta Fagriculture. So, Federal University of Nigeria, Fagriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria. Prof, you're welcome to Hello Africa. I think I've got the name wrong with the university. Please correct me.
Okay, no problem.
FUNAB.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. The right name for the university is Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Prof, this morning we are looking at our place as Africans, as researchers, within your scope as a food expert, a food scientist, also a microbiologist. Just yesterday, we had the World Food Safety Day, telling us about the theme, which is telling us how we can turn research findings into something more realistic. So from burden to action. Prof, have you found, or do you agree with this theme as being a timely theme for the times we're in, that it is about time we move from just research that is being published in its amassed state to finding it being more practical and realistic in turning the way we live within Africa and globally?
Thank you very much. It's very interesting. The World Food Safety Day is a day that World Health Organization and the Food Agriculture Organization, WHO and FAO, has come together to agree on and to decide on June 7 every year to be the day at which the World Food Safety Day should be celebrated. And this is because of the importance of food safety. Maybe before we move forward, let me try to let our audience know what we mean, or when we talk about food safety, what do we mean? Food safety is talking about consumption of food that has been contaminated by what we call hazards. These hazards are those bad, unwanted things that when they get to the food and the food is being consumed with those bad substances, they will lead, or it can lead that person that consumed the food to go to the hospital and as a result of ill health. So we have various substances that are being categorized as hazards. And these are microbiological in nature, which can be bacteria, mold, viruses, parasites. And we also have chemicals that can also find their ways into the food. And once the food is consumed with those chemicals, it will lead whosoever consumes such a food to the hospital as a result of ill health. And there are some other physical hazards okay? Like maybe you mistakenly consume food with broken bottles or stones or things like that, yeah. So this is what food safety is all about. And of recent, last week, World Health Organization released an estimate about the world foodborne illnesses.
Okay.
So the data was released last week, and it's very alarming to say that the data confirm that 866 million people globally fall ill as a result of foodborne diseases.
Okay.
So what this one is telling us is that 1 out of 9 people worldwide fall ill as a result of consumption of this unsafe food. And they also confirm that out of these cases that we've just mentioned, children under 5 years of age, okay, account for 1/3 of these global foodborne diseases. And as we all know, that children takes about 9% of the global population. And that data also confirmed that 1.52 million people die every year as a result of foodborne illnesses. So you can see the importance of this food safety issue and why June 7 has been assigned to be a day to celebrate. Actually, normally people take the whole week or 2 weeks to celebrate this initiative in different ways. As we are doing now, some people also do training. Some people also go out to talk to people, advocacy, and different things. So that is what the World Food Safety Day is all about.
It's very interesting what the findings you share with us. I think if you are watching from home, you should be nodding your head that it means that we have a lot of issues running down and danger quite looming. Prof, the question is, if foodborne disease were on the rampant bed, as you share with us, then what is the role of the consumer? Who assures quality for the consumer in this case? Because we buy food from everywhere. We have the modern restaurants, we've got the local restaurants, and people like the local restaurant because of the cost involved. It's cheaper to buy food on the street than in the restaurant. And are we actually at danger at the moment where we buy our food or what kind of food we buy or the conditions the food find themselves in? Which of these ones are hazard prone in this case?
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think in Africa, one of the major challenges that the consumers are having is that they are not well informed. Yeah, many of the consumers don't understand what we mean by food safety.
Okay.
So some people think when the food is so attractive, the food is safe. No. Okay, from what we've said from the foundation that we've laid this morning, is that when you have some hazards in the food, and majorly biological hazard, which you cannot see with your naked eyes. So, because the food is very attractive in terms of color, in terms of flavor, or the way it's being packaged, does not mean that the food is safe. Doesn't mean that when you consume that food, you will not have challenges with your health.
Okay.
So as we are doing today, this is a way, one of the ways rather, by which consumers can be informed about how to guide against having this challenge of foodborne illnesses or diseases. That is one. Number two is that once the consumers are aware of this, the consumer need to demand for safe food.
Okay.
As a consumer, most of the food that we get are not for free. We pay for them. So, and that is our power that we have. So we can use our power to determine the type of food that we purchase and also the type of food that the producers, the processors will also make available to us. So to be direct with your question about the source of the food, it is very important that the consumer need to note some things. Number one, temperature.
Okay.
This biological hazard that we've mentioned that normally causes problem of foodborne diseases or foodborne illnesses selects the environment where they stay. It's just like human being. When you get to an environment that is too harsh for you, you don't want to stay there. You want to look for a way out. So these organisms that we are talking about, they are also living things. So some of them also select where they stay in order to create the havoc, in order to do the bad things that they are known for.
Yeah.
So the consumers need to know that there's some food that you don't eat cold. There's some food, or majorly the food that we consume in this part of the world, are food that should be very hot.
Okay.
Okay? So if you go to a restaurant, no matter how beautiful the restaurant is, the restaurant is prone to having this hazard that we're talking about. There are things that you cannot see with your naked eyes, so they are ubiquitous. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
So it is now left to you, the consumer, and the processor that want to sell you food, or where there's going to be an exchange. You need to understand what should be done. So if the person that is giving you the food is not doing the right thing, you need to correct him. And if he or she refuses to do that, because you have the power, which is your money, you can excuse yourself from taking such food. And I will be direct in this case. Let's say you go to a restaurant to buy food, maybe rice, maybe anything swallow, maybe snacks. You need to demand that such food should be served hot. And if you go to these restaurants, you will see them with microwave oven displayed. So they are not there just for decoration. They are there to microwave any food that will be given to the customer. But many of them don't do it. You go to buy meat pie or donut or sausage roll, they just pick it and give it to you. No, it should be microwaved before giving to you, because those hazards, the microbiological hazard that causes this problem, do not survive high temperature. So, but once it is served to you, and if that food has been handled unhygienically, which you cannot say, you're going to buy, or they are going to give you food that contains this hazard. And when consumed, and that's why you see most people, after eating food, maybe 6 hours, 8 hours later, they also need to demand for hygienic handling of their food.
Yeah.
You go to the market, where you have unprocessed food. You see veg and fruit. People just handle them anyhow.
On the tables.
Yeah, even beyond that, you see fruit that people are going to consume displayed on the floor. You see them also displayed around an environment that is contaminated.
Yeah.
You see refuse disposal very close to that. You see the drainage.
Yeah.
I listened to your show before this where you are talking about the issue of flood. And from this flood, a lot of waste, dirt are dumped inside.
Yeah.
And you see people selling fruit and veg, which we call ready-to-eat food. People don't process them. You see your carrot, you just buy it and you start eating. And these things are sold beside drainage that you have a lot of contamination coming from. Those microorganisms, you can't see them with your naked eyes. So they are around. They are on the fruits. they are on your, what do you call it now? Maybe mango that you want to take. In fact, another thing that the consumer also needs to note is that many of these ready-to-eat food that we buy, especially fruit and veg, you don't just buy them and consume like that. You need to take them home or take them to somewhere and use potable water to wash before consumption. Okay? And in order to also make sure that you've done the right thing, you should use vinegar solution in rinsing your vegetables that you are not going to process again. Okay, don't forget I talk about heat processing. Okay, so you know that, okay, I'm not going to process this food maybe by cooking or frying, okay, which is an heat processing method that can inactivate or kill the microorganisms. So some of the food that you are not doing that, so you can use vinegar solution to wash. So that vinegar solution can inactivate those microorganisms and the food will be safe for consumption.
Prof, is salt solution an alternative to vinegar solution in this case for rinsing?
Yeah, it's not complete alternative. People do use it. But you see, those microorganisms, as I said, they are living things like you and myself. For me, I don't like cold environments. You may do. Other people may be at the middle, cold, hot. So organisms are also like that. Okay, so we have some of them that are resistant to salt solution.
Okay,
because we are talking about pH. Okay, some of them at that pH of salt solution, they can still grow. They can still do what they are known to do. Okay, but if you use vinegar, you are sure of destroying whatsoever the microorganism is, at least for fruit and veg, because we have different type of these microorganisms, and they also grow on different type of food. But with research, those that grow on fruit and veg, for now that are known, can be dealt with vinegar solution.
Prof, I think I would like us to move from the micro point where the house or the individual is at the focus to a much more macro space where we have other stakeholders playing in. Prof, right from the farm gate where the foodstuff is harvested, is there a role to play? Is food safety only at the beckon of the consumer, or food safety is more evolving right from the farm gate to the one who did the processing, the one who is doing the selling, even the one, and even the researcher who is also doing, like yourself, doing research here and there? Is there a role that each and every stakeholder have got to play? And paint us a picture of how the I would say the flow chart looks like from farm gate to consumer, and even the role of the researcher in this whole cycle.
Thank you very much. When we talk about food generally, we talk about food security. We talk about food systems. So food systems is all about farm to fork. That is the term that we normally use, from farm to fork. Some people will tell you from farm to table. Okay, some will say farm to mouth. Meaning that from when the seed was dropped into the soil to give you that produce that you are going to convert, that is if you want to add value to it by processing, till when that food gets to your table, and even beyond, anything can also happen after getting to your table. So that's why some people will tell you from farm to mouth till when you are going to consume. So a lot of things happen. So it's a chain. Okay, so from that farm till when you are going to have the food on your table, so many actors are involved.
Yes,
you have the farmer. Okay, from the farm, he has a lot to do in terms of making sure that the food, the seed that is going to be planted is a good seed. Okay? Making sure that the seed that is going to be planted is not contaminated with chemicals. These days, people talk about pesticides, people using chemicals, okay, on the seed, not even on the food now, on the seed. So when the farmer is going to plant, he or she needs to be sure that the seed is a good seed. And after planting, there are a lot of things that need to be done on the farm. We call it good agricultural practices.
Yes.
Okay? So those practices must be up to standard.
Yes.
During the operation or during the practices, it must be sure that hazards are not being introduced.
Okay.
Okay? So the farmer needs to harvest at the right time. And the farmer also needs to be sure that after harvesting, right, the produce that has been harvested is not also contaminated.
Okay.
Because if the produce is contaminated, now possibly maybe through chemicals, okay, it will go like that to when it's going to be processed. And that chemical may not be removed, okay, and it will go to the farm. It will go to the table when the food will be consumed, which will become a dangerous food and unsafe food. So the farmer has his role to play, and we also have a lot of people in the middle. At times, some people goes to the farmers to get the food, okay, they produce, take it to the people that is likely you have processors that will add value to it, or you have people that are going to sell in the market. So they need to be sure that the right thing, the right handling practices is also adhered to. So now, what are those handling practices?
I think we just have some 1 minute to wrap.
To wrap. Okay. So what we are saying is that a lot of people, a lot of actors have their own role. The farmers has their role. The researchers that we've mentioned, the university people, academia has their role. As lecturers, we have to be sure that we produce the right technologies and solution that is also talking about the burden. We have to provide technologies that are local, technologies that are practical, technologies that are scalable, technologies that are accessible, and technologies that are sustainable to our system, okay, that everybody can use to solve the problem. And the academia also are in the position to train future food safety experts. And more than that, which is what we need to start doing, we need to move away from the university, move away from the classroom, and go to the community. And talk to people in the way they will understand about the output of our research that can assist to solve this burden of food safety in Africa.
Okay. Prof, thank you very much for your time, and it's been very enlightening. I think that from burden to solution, the theme is well breaking down that when findings are made from researchers, we have to find a way to now locate these farmers who are in the remote areas and then translate or interpret the findings to them in their own language, in their own way, so they can appreciate that, because the food starts from the farm gate. So if it comes, I would say, poisoned or disturbed right from that spot, you can know that it's just evolving through the spaces for your consumption, which is bad. So, Prof, I think we carry the findings to the hinterlands and we can make impact right from the source.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate that. We'll move to our second story. Just a quick turn. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks. This program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
You welcome back and hello Africa. And you know, earlier on I was with Professor Obadina. We're having a discussion on food safety. And Phil, food safety is not one person's responsibility. It's a whole value chain.
Sadly, a lot of people think it's not one person's responsibility.
Yes.
What people are often thinking about is that I need food, I need to eat, and then that's about it.
Yeah.
But we fail to think about where the food is growing from, how it's even growing in the soil, what seed actually was planted before the food came
What
up.
soil?
Exactly.
What soil? And what kind of water?
Exactly.
I mean, it's a whole complex system.
And
about just going to
especially,
buy
I heard when you were talking about vegetables, the kind of water that's used to water vegetables
these days
is very serious. So, like, you need to be mindful where your food is coming from. You don't just be hungry and think that, okay, that's about it. So I want to walk into any restaurant or any food joint and then get my food and eat. No, you've got to think about a lot of things.
Absolutely. And moving on to the next story, the University of Ghana has launched a global alumni network platform. You know, this platform has come at a very important time for the university to strengthen engagement with the alumni worldwide. Developed by the Institutional Advancement Directorate in collaboration with the university's ICT Directorate, the platform will enable alumni to create verified profiles, reconnect with former classmates, join alumni chapters, participate in mentorship programs, register for events, and support the institution's advancement initiative. This is amazing. Very interesting platform. It's like the UG alumni Facebook or Instagram.
Sort of
social media episodes.
It's a fantastic idea, and I'm happy it's been done. I mean, I feel like some of these things are long overdue because the University of Ghana is one of the oldest universities in the country, particularly even in Africa. So for us not to have had this for a long time now, I'm happy to hear that it is happening finally, because the aftermath of what this thing is going to do is what I'm very interested in. Number one, we are talking about networks. We are talking about strategic alumni things, digital transformation in higher education, and the most important thing for me is the mentorship and graduate employability aspect of it. People often don't think that these things are important, especially when you talk about mentorship. People often assume that once you have been to the university, so you have graduated from University of Ghana with whatever honors, and then you are fine, and probably you have a job, and then that's about it. No. Everybody, if you ask me, as far as I'm concerned, per my experience, you need a mentor the moment you're out of, even you're in school, right through to probably about 30, if you ask me. Because that space within which you are completing school, let's say by the age of 22, 23, and whether you're lucky enough to have a job or not, you need guidance until you have found your feet.
Yeah.
We often tend to feel like, okay, okay, we look at life as an automatic thing. After university, get a job, get married, get a car, build a house, have children. Like we feel like it's an automatic cycle. No, life begins to happen actually. For a young person who life is happening to and cannot navigate the pathways of life, how is the person supposed to go through the life? I mean, I saw a post over the weekend that says, even your parents, be patient with them because they're also trying life for the first time. Nobody has two shots at life. You get it? So your parents, who you think are probably in their 70s and 80s, and you are thinking that they didn't do something right for you, they are also experiencing life for the first time. It's the first time they are 70 years, it's the first time they are 80 years. So how much less you, who is now also growing, and you're thinking that your parents have done this? No, you are responsible for yourself. Your parents have a certain level of whatever responsibility towards you to take care of you. You have finished school. Sure. Now you are beginning to live your life as well. Yes, they have done their part. The rest lies on you. So mentorship and graduate employability is one of the key things for me that is very key in this thing. And then also the fact that it's a homegrown initiative. I am always proud when I hear things happening in Africa and happy about it. I know we may have learned about this from schools outside Ghana in the West and all of that. No problem. You see, you always will have to learn from the best anyway. So for me, I'm excited to know that we are the ones who have put it together, and then the University of Ghana together with the ICT Directorate have come up with this initiative to be able to make something work for us. So for me, as long as it is in the right direction, it's a good thing. And again, when you talk about data and what's it called? Institutional plan is another key thing that's there, because now you get to know year by year the number of people who have left school. It's not like those records are not there, but you get to know who is here, who is not there, who is doing what, who is doing, like, just like you said, it's like maybe the Facebook or any other digital platform for the university only, okay, which is a beautiful thing. So for me, I feel like it's a step in the right direction, and then they've got it right.
You know, Phil, one of I would say this is a strategic step for University of Ghana. I believe that other universities in Africa may or should,
they should,
if not, should start.
They should.
Because when you produce graduates, and it's been like over 50 years, University of Ghana is more than 75 years, and in this space of producing graduates since 1948 to now. There are a lot of people in this country, both locally and also abroad, who are alumni of University of Ghana.
Exactly.
The question is, how do you know? Unless you were my age mate.
Yes.
Unless you were my classmate.
Yes.
Then I know Phil was in my class, or we're in the same batch.
Yeah.
We finished in 2027. And we keep together. Before the advent of social media, WhatsApp groups, how were people who had finished school?
That's a major question.
Kept things going.
Big question.
How do
That's a big question.
So it tells you that if not for WhatsApp, that we had WhatsApp groups for year groups, where would you have had all these contacts? And how do you have kept the momentum going? So this app I think it's come at the right time to sustain the gains University of Ghana has made with the alumni. The only issue I have with the app right now is that, you see, University of Ghana is not one of the new universities. It's a colonial university. Sanctioned by the British, and it's been working for all these years, and has got I would say alumni who are the type who are born before computer. I mean, you may not have them so agile with social media and technology. It's not that they are illiterate. Not every illiterate can't use a cell phone.
Absolutely.
They all use smartphones, but they can't access this whole login credentials app. They are not that type. They are not tech savvy like that. How is the University of Ghana looking forward to also, I would say, treat or manage that segment of the alumni who are not so smartphone tech savvy type? I mean, the Gen Zs, the
millennials,
boomers, they are fine. I think from 2006 and 2001, they are okay. They can keep up with the app because at least that's a platform they all know. But with all the boomers who have been there from the 80s, 70s, are they still going to be very agile
Yeah.
and very enthusiastic about this application? Will they go there and have a safe way of setting up their profiles and be active in contributions like these millennials, Gen Zs, alphas, and co will do so? So I think that they have one of the biggest population in terms of alumni, and they can find a way or a forum where they could meet every group. I think this is for the group that is tech savvy, but they can also look at a forum where they can also deal with others who are not that type.
Yeah, I'm glad that you have broken it down such that at least, like you're saying, every year group will be able to benefit from it. So I hope that the parameters that have been drawn to set up the app would investigate some of these loopholes, and then they'll be able to, do something about it so that everybody benefits from it. Sadly, the truth also is that there are many things that does not benefit almost everybody, unfortunately. So there might be a little percentage of some people who may not benefit fully from this app. But either ways, I mean, it's a good initiative. So congratulations to the University of Ghana on this one, and then they'll be able to go along with it. Anyway, so we'll move to the next story. And in this story, the Minister of Education, Haruna Iddrisu, Minister of Education of Ghana, Haruna Iddrisu, has announced plans to expand Ghana's digital learning program and introduce emerging technology subjects such as artificial intelligence, coding, and electronics into basic education. Speaking at the National Conference and Exhibition on Digital Education, he revealed that while senior high school students and teachers are already benefiting from digital learning devices, government intends to extend the program to learners from kindergarten through junior high school. The initiative forms part of broader education reforms aimed at preparing Ghanaian learners for a rapidly evolving digital economy. Now, the reforms are expected to equip students with critical digital skills while ensuring that education remains rooted in African cultures, languages, and in realities. Look, Doc.
Yes.
This thing is I'm always excited about initiatives of this nature. Then again, I keep asking myself, or let me put it in the right perspective. It's long overdue because we have learned about countries like Japan and China, South Korea. I mean, basically, let's just say Asia. You go to these countries and then you see kids in 7th grade and below. The kinds of things these kids are doing in their classrooms are things you and I may not be able to do, even though we have master's degrees and whatever and blah, blah, blah. You get, so it is exciting to know that now we are thinking about integrating this in basic education. So that whilst your child is in basic school or primary school, from kindergarten, they begin to learn things of this nature. And rightly so, because after all, these kids from 5 years and above, even sometimes below 5 years, now they are struggling with parents for their mobile phones. They want to use tablets. Now they can be able to navigate and even go to Play Store apps to go and download the games they want to play. So why won't you then also teach them how to code, teach them how to navigate some of these things from that age? And that's what Asia is doing right now. And so you have kids from two different continents, Asia and Africa, or let's say the West and Africa, and then kids of the same age, you put them together and suddenly one looks like this, they are more intelligent than the other. Absolutely wrong. Meanwhile, we all live in the same global village now with the same global competitive advantage. If you ask me, I mean, so I don't see why this cannot be right. And it is long overdue. So yes, I congratulate the minister for coming up with this initiative. And yes, it is it's been long overdue, but thankfully it's not too late. So let's do it and get it right.
Yes, I think that sometimes the ambition, I would say the ambition of our leaders, it can be commended.
Yeah.
But sometimes it may sound over ambitious, and that is where we should exercise some caution. I would also love that our education setting would be far different and more diversified than it used to be at first.
Yeah.
Our education has been one of the worstest. I mean, and that's I would say this unequivocally, that our education has been one of the worstest kind
One of the worst kinds?
The worst kinds.
I would want to see on what grounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, right from the word go in 1947, when the missionaries came to Ghana, their purpose was to create institutions that would train people who would work with them, because they needed conduits, mediators, to work with them. And these people were only trained to work in the public settings.
True.
For the colonial masters who were at that time in charge. And they were very, very crafty in the kind of academic curricula or content you consume.
Okay.
To not be an innovator, to not be a creator, but rather be what? An administrator. Because we give you what you should know.
Yeah.
We were not trained, we were not provided curricula that made you and I think logically. When did logic and critical thinking introduced in the curricula? I was in university in 2013 when I saw that logic and critical thinking was introduced.
Yeah.
We were all here when BDT, Basic Design and Technology, was used to replace Peter Descartes' skills.
Yeah.
So we've all seen the change as we've grown. It has not been there. Ghana has evolved over time in trying to see the light in how they could redefine our curricula to make you and I empowered to think as people and also make a difference for ourselves. Entrepreneurship. The course called entrepreneurship was introduced just a decade ago.
Yeah.
When people were entrepreneuring in the US or Wall Street, capitalism was introduced. People were getting money to create businesses to employ others. We were here queuing at ministries for employment. Civil service was the talk of town. Today, we are seeing the fragment, or let's say the invasion of private enterprises as a result of an era that said we're going for entrepreneurship, we're going for capitalism, we're going for people opening their own business and not relying on government. So Phil, when I say our academic system has been the worstest, I mean what I'm saying, and I know what I'm saying. And anybody, and it's unarguable. You can't argue with this, that we all have to fight our way through darkness to get where we are. And when we look back, we say, really, I learned all these things. I learned all these things. How relevant are these things to me today?
So
understand?
Based on what you have just said and on how our education is one of the worst that you have seen, I agree with you now that you have explained.
We've come a long way. Yeah. And we are now seeing the light on what should we replace, what should we eliminate, because we realize that we've been studying things that don't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this conversation now is driving me into a certain space that is making me ask more questions, and I'm going to share the questions now.
Yes.
So, for example, we have agreed to now bridge the digital divide.
I was coming there.
From childhood.
Yes.
Okay. So the first question I'm going to be asking is this: not necessarily to you.
Yeah. To everybody.
We need the infrastructure to be built.
Well, very well done.
We need a system. In this system, we must have instructors. These instructors are part of the problem that you have just talked about, because we all went through that kind of education. How are these instructors or teachers going to turn things around to influence our children so that in the next 10, 15, 20 years, these children will not be singing the same song we are singing now?
Thank you very much for that premise. Let's take it from this point. It is three things: infrastructure, intermediaries or instructors, and the final one is delivery. If you haven't got the whole setting, the infrastructure, the investment, which we don't have, you see, nowadays, I think flood has become the talk of the day. It will just pass away, all shall pass. When it passes, the next will be schools and the trees and teachers drawing computer and mouse. We still have students who are languishing in such dilapidated settings in the name of education. We have students who have to carry pans on their head in the Volta region. In the Volta region, they have to sit on canoes, paddle it, and go to school. Move their uniforms into a pan and walk naked in rivers. We can go and dress at the bank and say they are going to school. Do you have computers in those schools? We have areas in Ghana that are poor networks. Even a road network that's released there, we don't even have. We have to use drones to transport medicines. You are telling me that we are ready for AI and coding basic schools. I see. We need to get the fundamentals right. Is the infrastructure ready? Have we got that? That's a point.
That's a major thing, because we have not even seen any budget or anything that
because you and I are academic enthusiasts. When we hear things like these, we don't just start clapping. We ask questions.
We think about it.
Recently, the AI strategy for Ghana was launched. I don't know, but it didn't spark the euphoria it should spark. You know why? Because we have seen AI before we realized we did an AI strategy. And I asked a question to a panel the last time. I asked them that why wasn't it mentioned in the strategy emphatically that we will start introducing AI lessons in schools? It wasn't. It was vague. Today we see the Ministry of Education saying that we are going to introduce AI. The question is, there's disjoint, Phil, disjoint. Now, GS wants to bring an AI initiative. The Ministry of Communication also wants to bring an AI strategy. Is it a policy? Is it an initiative? What's the difference? A policy means that it has a sustainability pathway. An initiative means that it can end tomorrow. How organized is this going to be? Are we bringing the other schools which are below levels above to the same level? If you're comparing this to GIS, I believe by now is even way ahead of this strategy. But would the other schools, the MAs, the DAs, are they able to match up?
That's a major question.
We should be very, very serious when it comes to policies. We should understand that it's a very encircling one. It's not just looking at one space. It's encircling. It's Ghana.
You watching us. Tell us if Ghana is adequately prepared to introduce AI, coding, and electronics into basic education. Send us that message and we'll get into it. We'll move to our next story because of the lack of time. Still on Ghana. And so Ghana is moving closer to achieving vaccine self-sufficiency with plans to produce its first locally manufactured vaccine by 2027. According to the National Vaccine Institute, NVI, a technology transfer agreement with an Indonesian pharmaceutical company will enable the local production of tetanus, diphtheria vaccines, marking a significant milestone in the country's health sovereignty agenda. As Ghana prepares for the eventual withdrawal of support from the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization by 2030, the NVI is seeking strategic partnerships and investment to develop a sustainable vaccine manufacturing ecosystem. The initiative aims to reduce dependence on imported vaccines, strengthen national health security, and position Ghana as a key player in Africa's growing pharmaceutical manufacturing sector. Again, good initiative. But if you ask me, why have we waited till this far? Ghana has institutions like Noguchi. If I've seen medicine or innovation in terms of medicines anywhere, it's in Ghana. Why? Growing up, you're traveling, and then you get on a bus. Somebody comes selling local medicines to you, which can do 1 million things at the same time. Truth be told, many of these things may not be able to be achieved, but at least about 5% of the things they mention to you, that medicine does. What stopped our researchers and people who are into plant and herbal medicines come together to find a proper way of making some of these things work? Because, for example, I'm aware that this research center at Mampong has been able to come up with proper medication, for example, for like typhoid. Okay, I think they call it enterica or something of the sort. You take it, people who have suffered typhoid have given me testimonies about how they took that for 3 weeks and then they have been, so this kind of initiatives have already been there. So why are we now thinking about making this happen in 2027 to start producing vaccines? It's been long overdue.
No. What vaccine are we creating in the first place?
This one is for tetanus, diphtheria.
Tetanus?
Yes.
When last did you hear about tetanus? When last did you hear
as a matter of
tetanus
fact,
was on the
anytime
verge?
Anybody has an injury, especially that has to do with anything metallic, one of the things they get injected with is the tetanus whatever at the hospitals. That I know of.
Let me come to this main point. See, we are trying to seek. We've gotten funding to create vaccines, and we are starting off with tetanus. Okay, they are, no, I'm coming. They are just recently, when other African countries were flagged for Ebola, Uganda is one of them, which Ghana isn't any different from that, because we had also been at the red spot, not even amber, red, for Ebola. We have come out of COVID, and we hear of other emerging, I would say, epidemics, like I would say hantavirus, which was because of mpox and co. And we have worked through all these and are looking for ways and means to immunize Ghanaians. And that is where we're starting from. I'm not saying it's not a good feat. It is a good feat. But sometimes, as a country, having come this far we've come, there are some progress we should make. And there are some that I would say should be premise. So I would say it's a good step in the right direction that we plan to manufacture. It's always a plan. It's not it's a plan to manufacture a plant to create vaccines for tetanus. But we have to be more strategic in these things. Vaccine nationalism is very important, and we should be forward-looking. There are other pandemics that we're seeing popping their faces. We should start work on these things, and not be looking at historic matters like tetanus and co. There are more coming, which are more very serious. Than
I pretty much agree with you. One of the things that makes striking a lot of chords in my mind right now is the amount of money we are expected to spend on this. It's about 50 to 60 million annually, or let me say, so the country is expected to spend between 50 to 60 million annually on vaccines once donor support ends. Okay, raising questions about long-term sustainability and funding sources.
And so it's always the case. It is always. I told you.
Sustainability.
I told you about it, right? That sometimes you don't find, and I was surprised when I didn't see the Ghana Health Service or the Ministry of Health mentioned anywhere. It's always not our money. It wouldn't be our money because it's somebody's money. When are we going to use our own money for what we need or what matters to us most? Because it's not our money. Because if it's our money, I could tell you that we will not use it for this. Well, there are so many pressing issues within our health space that we need monies to execute and create. We get funding, and then we are supposed to do what we have to do with it. And that's a challenge. If we were the ones deciding for ourselves what we needed that money to do, we would finish, we'll complete our health facilities, we'll employ more nurses and doctors, and we'll enhance their condition of service, but we can't.
So the major question still remains, after withdrawal of donor funds, how is Ghana going to finance this $50 to $60 million annually?
Your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine. Annually. You know, there have been several projects which are lurking around. You know, the bloodline, I would say the energy, the lifeline is lost. So it's equally like that. It suffocates.
Anyway, so let's get into our next story, a little bit into football. And there's a bit of an exciting thing here, and I don't know why people are excited. I'll tell you why anyway. So Ivory Coast produced one of the standout surprises over the international break with a 2-1 victory over France in a World Cup warm-up match at the Stade de la Beaujoire in Nantes. Guela Doué scored and provided the assist for Amad Diallo's late winner, while Ryan Cherki had earlier put France ahead. The result came despite France fielding several high-profile players and highlights both teams' preparations ahead of the upcoming FIFA World Cup. Now, France will open the tournament campaign against Senegal, while Ivory Coast continue on their build-up of their group stage opener against Ecuador. The match also carried emotional undertones, with Guela Doué facing his brother Desiré Doué, who was in the French setup. Now, in this story, I'm excited to know that Ivory Coast beat France 2-1, because often it is the other way around that you hear, and people are excited about it. Me, I am not excited about it, and the reason is this.
Tell me.
This game was played over the weekend. I think it was played on Friday.
Okay.
Now, as at that time, there's just about 6 or 7 days to the start of the World Cup.
Okay.
Do you think strategically, as somebody who likes football, would you as a coach, even despite fielding your best players, would you ask them to play crunch football when you have just 6 days to the start of the tournament of the World Cup? Do you get where I'm coming from? Yes, you will feature them to figure out what you have to play during the World Cup. But I won't ask them to play crunch football for me to have injuries before the start of the World Cup. Because mind you, I have submitted my list for the squad already. So if somebody is going to withdraw from the squad and I have to bring somebody in, it messes up my strategy going into the World Cup. So there is no way as a coach I'm going to play crunch football in a friendly match which will score nothing.
You know something. I think that beyond the technical, tactical point of view that you're coming from, I'm also seeing this in the psychological aspect.
Mind games.
Yes. You see, sometimes, and it has played well for some countries and for some others, it hasn't. Panama. Panama recently faced off with, was it South Africa? Panama played with Spain. No, Brazil. Panama met Brazil. And the kind of game Panama played send signals that, hey, Group L, don't play. You know,
Ghana is in trouble.
Sometimes I go through the group listers, and you know what I do? I just do my own shortlist, and Brazil will make it, Uruguay will make it. But this time in our group, England, Croatia, Panama, Ghana, it is tough to make a 2 that will make it because England is equally a good side. Croatia is equally a good side.
Croatia is one of the.
Croatia is a finalist.
I'm actually more scared of Croatia than England. Trust me, I'm more scared of Croatia than England.
2-time finalists in the World Cup. At the final, if not for anything, they would have won the World Cup. They are finalists, so you can't play with them. And Panama, whom you can say is the one that will dash points. Everybody has a team that says, "This one gets give out points." Panama isn't that team. If you thought so, forget about it. Because Panama gave Brazil a good run for their money, and the question was like, "Whoa, watch out for Panama. They are not an easy side." Ghana, so I mean, is it an easy side? We had our own losses. Austria giving to us. I mean, we've lost a lot. So if you are having friendlies are moments of creating impressions for your opponent to know that they shouldn't play with you. And it also helps to build your confidence for the game. You've lost so much. If not for our match with Wales that we drew 1-1. And I think the winning game with us wasn't bad. I think we played pretty well. It gave me a different signal, but I think there's more room for improvement. If not for that, Phil, I would have wrote a petition that GFA, I beg you, come back. Just come and watch because it's not going to be good. Cote d'Ivoire has spoken very loud. That listen, we've not come to play. We didn't come here to play. And France, current champions, France has lost a game in the friendly. It's a sign that the future is interested. That if France goes ahead to play, it's a wake-up call. France, don't play. You may lose. You may leave the tournament premature. Today, I think this round, they're not doing the round of 16, right?
I think they are going to do 32 because now there are 48 teams involved for the first time in the World Cup.
You know, not only for this France Ivory Coast game, I watched Senegal and USA. And I sat like this, I'm like, what are you guys doing? So USA won against Senegal. I was like, are you guys really real? So Senegal is in the World Cup. The USA is as well. And Senegal lost to USA. And what is it saying? Is it a joke? Or is it a plan? Like you just said, it's a plot. Now let's just lose ourselves. Losing out for them. Let them win and build momentum. And they'll take you off.
Look, anyway, but all of this just tells you that for African football, there's a growing anticipation ahead of the World Cup in 2026 because the expectations are rising from the previous years and things like that. So and there are 9 African countries representing the continent this year. So I think that we have presented our best in this year's World Cup. So I feel like no African team should be underrated because in the last edition in 2022, Morocco went to the semi-final. Okay. So for anybody that might think that the African teams have come to play, I'm so sorry. Because football is so dynamic lately, you cannot tell what will happen. It's the reason I agree with you that Panama cannot be underestimated.
Yes, don't play with Panama.
Look, they qualified to come to a World Cup that has been expanded to 48 countries.
Yes.
Several other countries didn't qualify.
Sure.
So you can't come and say that because they didn't qualify and they look like they are.
Nigeria didn't qualify. Nigeria didn't qualify.
I was hoping you would not go
So
there.
don't play with Panama.
I was hoping you would not mention Nigeria in the
Nigeria did
conversation.
not qualify.
How did Nigeria get a straight bullet in this
That
conversation?
they didn't qualify.
Look, as a matter of fact, now that you have mentioned it, you know, during the AFCON, there was a commercial I saw on DSTV where, I can't remember her name, but she did a beautiful rap talking about how Nigeria is going to win the AFCON trophy, blah, 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 and give Ghana a Satoshi that Ghana didn't make it. Well, guess what, Nigeria? The World Cup begins in 3 days. On Nigeria, you go the watch for house.
Yes, they
The
should.
house the watch.
I mean, it's all fun, guys. It's all fun. We are all fights, okay? It's fun.
But we love each other. So let's unite.
But Ghana is representing West Africa very well.
As
We're
a
doing
matter
that
of
with Senegal.
So
we want to
Cote d'Ivoire as well.
Yeah,
I mean, so
we want to have the whole motherland follow
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Share us
Oh,
all.
and by the way, I loved how Cote d'Ivoire turned up to the World Cup. They were well suited up, like proper. Like I think they are the best African country
Cote
that has
d'Ivoire has always been promising,
represented well
locally and
Yeah.
very promising.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like the way that they've made it very bold.
Yeah.
We'll support them.
So after this win for after beating France and the way they arrived in the US in style, and it's interesting how when they even got to their hotel rooms, everybody has a picture of them in front of their hotel doors.
Oh, really?
So you get to know which room you are in, and then the room is customized.
The USA effect.
Yeah.
The USA
and I
effect.
love how many African countries have done a lot of beautiful things. Sadly, Ghana didn't do anything.
We didn't wear our kente.
We didn't wear anything. We just went in attractions and all of that. No problem.
Oh, really?
But we were met on arrival with our normal jama. You know, the folks in Virginia around came to meet them at the hotel. The jama was going on, music and the dance and all of that. It was beautiful. The other thing that was nice for me was for Senegal. Senegal had a beautiful dinner in one of their stadium.
Okay.
A large table, one of the biggest dining tables I've seen. They sat, they ate, had a good conversation before they left their country to the World Cup. Like it's giving a lot of beautiful vibes. And a few more games are happening today. So between today and tomorrow, most countries will begin to arrive. I mean, the rest of the countries will begin to arrive in the US and Mexico and Canada.
I think I've got one appeal I want to make to Ghanaians and all Africans. Please, Africa, when we find our players on the field and they're playing, let's support them, okay?
Yeah.
Let's support them with all our hearts and our might. We should always speak the good things. I believe this year, whatever the result will be, the Black Stars have done their best.
Yeah.
To build a mega team isn't in one day. It takes a long while for you to build a team that is more strong in all fiber of tactics and strategy. So you need to let them know that they are the best, they are good. They should go use their abilities, their senses, and make a difference on the pitch. And they'll do very well.
Yeah, they will. Yeah. So let's rally around the all of the African representations at the World Cup, and I'm sure they will make us proud. So to all of the African teams that are there, make us proud. We speak on behalf of all of Africa for you. We are proud of you guys, so make us proud as well. We'll be back after this break to finish up the show with Lifestyle. Stay tuned.
Ever wondered what drives ordinary people to do extraordinary things? Every week, a new story unfolds. But these aren't just stories. They are the journeys of courage, resilience, and vision. On Impact Stories, we open the door to remarkable personalities and everyday heroes. Experience the passion behind their purpose. Witness the setbacks, the breakthroughs, and the moment that defines a legacy. Journey with us on AAU TV every Saturday at 4 p.m. as we celebrate those who are making an impact. Tune in to Impact Stories, where real people share real journeys and real impact, each one leaving behind a legacy written in gold. Only on AAU TV.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Hello, Africa. Keep watching AAU-TV.
Explore a whole new world of exciting visuals with AAU-TV. Get ready for a mix of interesting talk shows, interviews, discovery documentaries, and news on AAU-TV. It's not just about watching TV, it's about experiencing something special. AAU-TV reaches over 25 countries in Africa, bringing you a blend of knowledge and fun. Learn about different cultures as you enjoy the shows. If you have events or want to showcase your business, we've got you covered. Watch AAU-TV free-to-air channel on satellite. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at AAU-TV. Reach out on call or WhatsApp us at +233 26 629 6601 or +233 20 399 5210. AAU-TV, the voice of higher education in Africa.
Are you a university, college, high school, private organization, NGO, individual professor, instructor or facilitator seeking to take advantage of the numerous benefits of online education? Look no further. The AAU eLearn Africa LMS is a great opportunity to begin your journey to online course development and creation for teaching, learning, and training purposes. AAU eLearn Africa LMS, which is a partnership between the Association of African Universities and eLearn Africa, has made available ease to use online learning tools to all stakeholders within the educational ecosystem of the African continent. This is to enhance teaching and learning in the bid to expand online learning opportunities for students in Africa. The online platform is open and available for free to all stakeholders and facilitates virtual access to classes without needing the other tools such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, among others. For more information, visit www.elearnafricalms.com or contact us via aaulms@aau.org or estherm@elearnafrica.com. Follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook at AAU eLearn Africa LMS.
Africa's next generation of leaders is rising, and Cairo is the meeting point. The Association of African Universities, AAU, proudly presents the AAU African Student Leadership Summit 2026, bringing together student leaders, innovators, researchers, and change makers from across the continent. Happening on the 17th to 19th of August 2026 at Cairo, Egypt. This is more than a summit. It is a continental platform for leadership, collaboration, innovation, and shaping the Africa we want. Register now using the link on your screen. For more enquiries, call or WhatsApp us on the number on your screen or contact us via email showing on your screen. Applications are now open for the 2026 UNESCO CJID Storytelling Fellowship for Environmental Journalists. The Center for Journalism Innovation and Development, CJID, in partnership with UNESCO Global Media Defense Fund, is inviting applications for a 6-month investigative storytelling fellowship. This initiative aims to strengthen the capacity of journalists to conduct investigative reporting on cases of violence against environmental reporters, while supporting the production, publication, and dissemination of these stories in line with international standards. Application deadline is June 8, 2026. For more information, visit the official webpage of the UNESCO CJID Storytelling Fellowship for Environmental Journalists.
Applications are now open for the 2026 Google Career Certificate Scholarships. In 2025, at the opening of Google's AI Community Center in Accra. Google pledged to support this growing talented pool by offering 100,000 Google Career Certificate scholarships. These scholarships provide access to flexible online training programs designed by Google experts to help individuals become job-ready in high-growth fields in under 6 months. The Google Career Certificates offer a flexible way to gain high-quality sought-after skills requiring no prior experience. Applications are still ongoing. For more information, visit the link on your screen. Program is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.
Good day once again, and this is the Hello Africa Morning Show, and this is the lifestyle segment. My name is Jemima Daladem Tuchi, and I'm doing this with...
Surprise!
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I think I've not had you on the lifestyle segment for... I mean...
Yeah, today we'll be chopping the thing together.
Yeah, I like the fact that you're actually here to discuss what we are about to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is a concern. I mean, Ghana considers mandatory ID checking for adult websites. So recently, Ghana's Minister for Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nate George, has proposed a policy that would require individuals to present a national identification card or driver's license before accessing pornographic websites as part of efforts to prevent minors from viewing sexually explicit content online. So he was speaking at the 4th Inter-Parliamentary Conference on Family Values and Sovereignty, and the minister said that the government is considering a policy as part of a broader initiative to safeguard children from harmful digital content. And he even made an example that in UK, you need, in order to have access to such websites, you would need your card for consideration. However, the proposal has already drawn criticism. Vice President of Imani Africa, Kofi Bento, has warned that the move could lead to state abuse and unnecessary intrusion into citizens' private life, arguing that it is not the government's role to use national ID system to control what adults consume online. I mean, this is an interesting story if you ask me. Because there's been a lot of concerns, actually. But before I even come in, I want to hear from you what exactly you think about this.
So the reference you made about the UK. In the UK, it's not about your identity card, it's age verification. So before you enter the site, you are asked to enter your date of birth. So when you enter, the system will automatically read and see that you're above 18 years. If you're not above 18 years, it will decline you access. And if you have 18 years and above, you can have access. The question is, these content, I would say explicit content, have a target group.
Yes.
And these target groups are people who are above 18 years. And they say that all the time. Therefore, if per the national view, if we want to create some enforcement on people accessing these sites, we should be very meticulous and open-minded about how we go about things. The minister's stance or approach is a bit more, I would say, off rational scale. It's so brute force. You don't use brute force to tackle things like these. You use tactfulness. You have to be open-minded. You have to also consult stakeholders. First of all, how can a 5-year-old, which per the Ghana Statistical Service reports about the use of mobile phones, 5-year-olds are the new population who are using cell phones. How did they get their cell phones? Because they are in homes. Then their parents give them cell phones. And these cell phones, have we given it to them? Do they have parental guidance effect on it? Yes, they are. Some have been able to encode these phones and encrypt them to the extent that you can only open some sites or some apps. You can't go to a porn site because the URL browser has been blocked for you in that sense. So there are some, I would say, technological steps taken to block young people who are curious enough to go and see things they are not supposed to see. If they have to use cell phones, they are guided on how to use it, and they are blocked from accessing some sites which are X-rated. These are approaches that we should be considering. Asking every Ghanaian, whether young or old, to enter their Ghana card number before they can get access to what something they're watching.
You don't
I think it's absurd.
Okay,
It's
for
very
me,
absurd.
I think it's good, and I'm coming from the point where
It's good that we enter our Ghana card
no,
numbers.
it's you. Let me make my point. Okay, so first of all, when you are visiting these sites do not have the chance for you to input your age. But then again, even if you input your age, you can lie about it. Even on Facebook and all that. I mean, I have friends who have their date of birth all on Facebook, but it is not like their right date or year of birth. And I mean, people can do that. So if you are swiping in your Ghana card for a scan or whatever, at least it gives you the right or for the sites to know that you are above 18. Because obviously, currently, looking at the kind of modernization or technology advanced environments that we live in, as young as 15, 14, 12 are holding phones. Like not just young phones, if I should put it that way, iPhones, like very high technology-wise phones. And you cannot stop them from using the phone. But I think if such measures are put in place, because the level of sexualization in our community is very alarming. So if some of these sites are too open for anybody who have access to technology, technological phones or internet to have access, then there is a problem. There was a tweet by Esquire Sewa Amihe, and then she says that both porn and betting sites are 5 sites mostly visited by Ghanaians, and that is from the Cyber Security Authority. So if we have bets, we have these porn sites as well that are most visited, then there is a question mark, because we have business sites, we have sites that you can learn about finance, you can learn about business, how to grow yourself and all that. But putting all these things together, if our 5 top apps or sites that we visit are porn sites and then bet sites, then there is a problem. So for me, maybe the only thing is that it is going to, open up or give access for whoever is in charge at the back end to have access to some of the information to see who is watching and who is not watching. But that is where actually my problem is, because of course whoever is watching that kind of movie would not want their information out there. It's not like they are going to publish it, but then at the back end, whoever is regulating, whatever system is regulating, if tomorrow they want to get a list or they want to do whatever system checks or however, they can easily have access to data of the people who are having access to the site. And that is what the problem is, because such data can easily go out. Ghana, even with our telcos, they have access to, they give out, some contacts for you to receive some messages that you haven't even signed up for. So that is where my problem is. But I do not have a problem with the fact that we are trying to curb the issue of people who are below. For me, I don't even think 18 plus should watch such
The question
such
is,
movies.
we have young people under 80 years who have Ghana cards. Today, Ghana card is
So when you
owned by
swipe
every
it
Ghanaian.
in and then you are less, below 18, you don't have access.
So the point is, it's not about the Ghana card.
But we want an identification card that would
And
give...
understand the point. It's not about the Ghana card.
Yes.
That makes any difference. It's not an ATM machine. We don't watch the porn on ATM machines.
But you can
that
scan
have to
your
scan.
card
So
with information.
it's just a date of birth. You did a date of birth to
But when you
verify.
punch it in, you can lie.
And I'm saying that if somebody is lying about their age, that is where the scope. You see, every challenge has got a scope. We've got wicked problems. Wicked problems are problems that cannot be solved easily. In fact, they're actually difficult to solve. And you are talking about how you can curb the watching of porn in Ghana. and ensure that every Ghanaian who
By
is
swiping your
watching
card.
pornography is older or younger, and you are not looking at the root cause. How did this person below this age get a
Because
phone?
they have phones.
Thank you.
From their parents.
Thank you. So address the issue from the parental level.
But you cannot also. Well, I think
It's
I
like
was
it's like
watching-
government. It's like government complaining that Ghanaians are falling sick. Yeah, do you know Ghanaians who are queuing to buy wachi at the joint that is closer to the refugee camp?
rubbish,
Have you changed have you given them I would say a modern look?
No, but that one.
So
that one is
so
far.
you see, if you cannot
That is
solve,
far.
government cannot solve the basic needs of all Ghanaians. You can't also eradicate all the basic rots
But you
in
can.
society.
For me, I even think this particular kind of movies, 18 plus is still too young. It should be like 30 plus.
No.
Honestly, 18 plus is actually too, or maybe 20,
No,
25.
we are talking law here, not feelings.
I get it, but you see, it is still the 18 at the age of 18. Yes, Ghana.
Do you know what it means to be 18 years in law?
I know
What
Ghana.
does
In
it
Ghana,
mean?
you are considered as an adult.
Yes,
you understand. But I still feel
if somebody can
with
vote
this,
at 18 years, it means that per the law.
But you see, sexualization or whatever feeling this particular movies come with, it's actually very different.
No, how do you feel about them?
Oh, come on. Now, see, I will make a general statement. Sometimes you go out and then somebody will be like, hey, you see, if fat ladies there, I mean, there are people watch these movies and then they come into real life and then they want to associate whatever they see.
Then maybe we should also ban TikTok, because TikTok is also one of the very buoyant mediums propagating sexualism.
No, you see, when it comes to
at night, people are doing OnlyFans on TikTok,
Yeah,
going
Telegram.
naked and getting paid for that. How about that?
No, you see, when it comes to apps,
do you need Ghana Cars also join that
you
as
see,
well?
when it comes to apps that are really leveraging or putting out
How about
such
Snapchat?
videos, Telegram is number one.
Yes,
Apart from
and
the
Snapchat.
fact that people use Telegram to download movies, people get a lot of such movies on
Even
Telegram.
Twitter,
Snapchat,
X.
and Twitter has even been.
Della,
there are sites that you go on Twitter.
Let me tell you this. See, I think that the minister is getting this off the wrong hook. And the Minister of Communications, I think he should always be guided about how he best out with his solutions. Okay, sometimes he jumps in the middle of the matter and forget that it has a beginning.
You see, we
Della,
can begin from somewhere.
no, you see,
equally.
you have to understand that everything has a point of evolution. So always take it from the beginning.
Yes.
Yes. I began to tell you that. How did these young people get the phones?
From their
They are
parents.
good. So if the parents bought the phone for you, the parents should ensure that they have handed you a tool that gives you limitless access to everywhere you want to go. Now, would you buy a phone for your 3-year-old, 4-year-old daughter? On what note? For communication, isn't it? Yeah. So if you want to talk to your daughter
Yes.
on just calling your daughter at any
Yes.
time, and you hand the phone to them directly and not through a guardian, you are at your own risk. Now, if I buy a phone for my daughter or son to talk to me, I must also ensure that I provide the parameters possible.
Yeah.
I should also anticipate that he could be curious to go and check www.whatever.com to go and watch things you see. Even on Facebook. Listen,
Yes.
there's
now
nowhere
the
safe.
apps,
Yes,
like social media apps.
there's nowhere safe.
But we can
Facebook,
start from
no,
somewhere.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp,
But the top apps,
Give me-
Telegram, Snapchat, and Twitter.
Telegram.
Telegram
All of them,
is-
all of them. You see, all of them are not safe. You know why? Because it's not about what you go. It's people are at liberty to also post what they want. Any post can go even on status. You
Yeah.
see obscene things there.
People, yeah.
So tell me, are we safe? It's not about pornography sites. It's about the sharing, the seeing, and the resharing of these obscene content. How are we solving that? Recently, the Ashanti regional minister, in a banter with one of the aides to Dr. Bawumia, who is the former vice president, he mentioned something. He said something, and this could be translated into trying to mock her into her feminine state,
Okay.
which was more sexual.
Okay.
That it was, I mean, in quote, was she ready for or in the mood for intimacy? That was how what he said was translated or was put, and it was very explicit. How about that?
Yes.
So if a 3-year-old go to see that post that the minister said that
A
in
whole
quotes,
minister.
or say, hey, I mean, are you in the mood?
Mhm.
If is that not also very disturbing?
Of course,
is that
it
not
is.
endangering?
So you see, it's a two-way thing.
So-
In
so-
as much
so-
as government can do this, we equally have to do this. And just to buttress a point that you made, that currently our social media apps are not doing us.
They are
any
all
good.
not helping.
So you see, now we can start from the fact that okay, the site is actually too open for people. How about we limit the age access to this site? And then now we can jump on our social media platforms and look at what can be done to curb maybe people from accessing certain sites. And you know, when limit is given to the site where those things are taken from, in other words, there will not, I mean, limited people will have access to such films. In a way, you see, we can start from one, and then I mean, as time goes on, we can look at other ways to curb.
So you agree
from
with me
other
that
sites.
he has actually jumped like
He
10
hasn't-
meters into the
he
meter
hasn't jumped.
to
Maybe
call
he-
for Ghana cards. I'm not putting my Ghana card online. I'm not.
I think people actually have
No,
an
you can't
issue
tell me
with
to
the
put my
Ghana
license
card.
to go and watch. What do you mean?
For me, the license was a bit, but
look at it,
identification
look at it.
card.
You see, you have to open your mind to the issue very well. See, now that when we opened our eyes to the matter on a large scale, you see that it's actually from multiple angles. And it's only a porn site that is going to destroy our young people. In fact, Snapchat had destroyed many.
Yeah, Snapchat.
TikTok has done worse.
Telegram is actually worse, honestly, if you ask me.
I
Telegram is
want to
actually
ban
worse.
all of them.
You cannot ban,
Let
obviously,
me
because
tell you what
people are
Australia
using
did.
it.
Australia realized that social media had made a lot of damage to their young people. So they banned that if you're a young person at this age, you are not allowed on social media.
So maybe we can adapt to that.
And they place parents at that core of responsibility. That if you're a parent and you buy a phone for your child, we will ensure that if you are buying for a child, over there, nobody is invincible. They try to engage themselves in everything.
Yeah.
The phone is encrypted. If it's just for communication,
Yes.
it's encrypted so that those sites
Yes.
per the phone are not allowed.
Yes.
There are
that's
some
true.
phones that
Yeah.
will not allow
Actually,
you to
there are-
enter in a site.
Yeah, so
But
there
of
are,
course,
even for Android and Apple phones,
So-
I learned there are settings that you can do so that the phone will automatically reject
avoid
those
you from
sites,
this.
access
This is
to
the
those
thing.
sites.
You should start looking at that so that right from the source, parents who buy smartphones who are well-to-do and will not buy yam. I mean, I'll buy a yam for you. I'll buy you a yam. When I was a child, I was buying a yam.
Yeah.
But if you are rich, you can buy your child a 70 Pro Max, age
Yeah.
of 5 years, 70 Pro Max. You are helping them on the showing them. Only you know.
Oh, come on.
And
there are kids equally with the 17
no
Pro
problem.
Max that are
I don't have a
not
problem.
open
I don't have
to
a problem.
such.
But
So
it is-
I
you see,
get
it's
that.
curiosity. See, a child watching pornography isn't by their own will. Nobody teaches them to go and watch. It is their
Yes.
curiosity.
That's
that I
true.
hear there's something called pornography.
So
Let
you
me go
want
and
to watch.
I also go to watch
And
some.
see. Okay,
So
anyway.
how then do I help them reduce that curiosity? I mean, you cannot stop Eve from being deceived by the serpent to go and shoot the apple. She will even indulge
No,
Adam
where
to chew.
you are taking the conversation.
I'm saying that you cannot prevent them. So far as they have the phone, they will explore.
They would explore.
So what we have to do is just find a way to let
Yes.
parents take first responsibility. Parents, you should take first responsibility. Ensure that your kids, even if they may have the smartphones, will not have access to these sites.
to some of
That's
these.
your first role.
Yeah.
Now, that's for the micro level.
Yeah.
At the macro level too, no, even at the macro level, there's more work. Ensure that you don't watch this obscene content with your children.
With your kids.
Some people are living in single rooms, and their kids are audience to mother and father
Yes.
in their act of intimacy.
Well,
They
that's
see it all the time.
So now, I mean,
You understand?
it's two ways. So right from the
a
roots.
father saw the child say, "You saw me." Say, yes, the child say, "You saw me." Watch it. You see,
So we have
these-
to tackle it right from the grassroots.
How can the minister give them a 2-bedroom to prevent them? See,
There's
that
no
one
way
he
that-
cannot do it.
Yeah, there's no
You
way the
understand? So,
minister can do
if you're able to paint down what the issues are,
The
micro-wise,
basis.
there are a lot. You are here saying you want to control sexualism in Ghana by Ghana cats. You have lost the issue. The issue is down there.
Maybe we should just ban it from the country.
You
That's
cannot ban Telegram. It's good
we
for
can
us.
ban the sites that has those excess sites that has
No, the sites too are, they have
kind
their
of
markets.
movies. Yeah,
There
they,
are
I mean,
people-
currently people even sell leaks.
Yes.
I mean, recently it was published that a guy went out and slept with a lady and went to publish the video on Telegram at a cost. So you see, there are equally, I think the law can equally come in, because some of these things, immediately you do that, immediately, I think there was a law that, there was a conversation about the fact that if you share some nudes or those things,
Recently,
you would be...
the Russian man who came to Ghana to do that, where is he?
Anyway,
Where is he?
okay, that's
us
a
not
cue
disturb
out.
anybody in this
That's
country.
a cue out.
Nobody will use their Ghana card to watch anything.
Okay, so that's our cue out. Thank you very much. This has been an interesting conversation on the lifestyle segment. And this has been the Hello Africa Morning Show. It's been amazing. And I did this with...
Yes, Dada, with me, and it's been amazing. This story is very interesting. I think that we have to talk about it again.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the next phase of it. If the minister is going to withdraw this Ghana card thing,
No, you see,
and
you
come
asked
with
the
a
question.
much more,
You see,
much more integrated approach
you asked
that
the
we
question
can
that
solve
where
the issue.
is the Russian man?
Where
who
is he?
came? Now, where is this going to be? I think that would be...
Where is
our
the Russian
cue.
man?
That would be our cue
Ask
out.
everybody, where is he?
So have a lovely day, our lovely viewers, and we'll see you same time next time. Bye.
Is proudly sponsored by Venom Mineral Water, Share the Love, and Bigo Drinks.